How did you
Yeah.
shift?
Yeah. So when COVID happened, actually, is when I really shifted. My husband lost his job 2 weeks after COVID. So he was working from home, whatever. But one day he came up stairs from our office and he just gave me a look. And I've known the man for a long time, so I knew what the look was. We had a 3-year-old at the time. And so I was like, okay, well, I already had kind of started this business. I need to be the one that's I need to see if I can save this, like if I can save our family. And so I had a Facebook group that I loved showing up in. Loved it. I showed up there probably more than I should have. Like I was like, I'm driving. Let's show up in my Facebook group. I
Okay.
mean, I just like I went live all the time, giving tips all the time. And I realized that I never actually went to try and monetize that. I only was like doing it because it felt like the right thing to do. And so I realized that the shift I had to make was that, wait a second, I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do. Like I've been doing the right thing and I've been doing the things that feel good. I've been doing the things I get to do. And I'm just not asking the right people and I'm just not asking the right way. And so I just kept, trying to show up. And then, that month, actually, I had a 10K month, um,
Yes, congrats.
which was great. Yeah. And like, I know everybody says, well, yeah, it was the pandemic and everyone's home. Well, yeah, but like that has actually continued to work. Like me showing
Hmm.
up, giving value, letting people, it turns out all those people trusted me already. Like, I wasn't like trusting myself enough to
Mm,
kind of, to kind of let them know, hey, I'm available to help you beyond these Facebook, posts. Um, so yeah, so
that was the
that's kind of
turn.
where yeah, like I remember selling on Instagram, being like, no one likes me, whatever. But then my Facebook group was like, I was like homecoming queen every day in there.
Hmm.
I'm like, why wasn't I was so afraid to sell to them,
Right. Yeah.
but kind of something happens to you and you're sort of like faced with this, a lot of times in our brain, not having money and being broke and all that can feel mortal. It can feel like mortal danger.
Mhm.
Um, and so I sort of had a little bit of that and I was like, I've got to shit or get off the pot. Sorry for my language. And so I had to do it. And it was more just like, hey, you need this. And this is the next step for you. I've helped you as much as I can in here. We need to move on. So,
And it was
yeah.
just a matter of you asking, as you said, right? Like
Mhm.
I let what you said has so much value in the fact that you were already showing up,
Yeah.
right? And I think that I know I said forever, I identify and claim, I
Mhm.
should stop claiming it, my microwave desire for everything. I
Yeah.
recognize it, right?
Yeah.
I recognize like there's a part of my brain that recognizes it. And then the other part is logical and says, Kanisha, you know that's not reality. But I
Mhm.
realize that it's still there.
Yeah.
But because
Yeah.
you are what people would say is an overnight success, 2 years where you moved to the group coaching, your business took off,
Right.
and it got to that illustrious point that so many people want to get to, but
Yeah.
you were already showing up, like you
Yeah.
said, right? And I think that's so important to
Yes.
hear that you
Yes.
had the Facebook group established, you were already in it. All you
Yeah.
had to do at that point was just start to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that there were only 300 people in that Facebook group. I mean, it wasn't like
What?
1,000 people. Yeah. So I just was getting the right clients in. And I was doing things that it's almost like, you don't even notice. I had to check my ego at the door. And that was probably the biggest thing, is that my ego was keeping me from noticing that the right fit clients were coming in the door and they were hanging out in my Facebook group and they were wanting to get more information. They were wanting to work with me, but no one's going to be like, hey, well, some people do, but no one's going to be like, hey, how do I pay you?
Right.
It's just not going to happen. And so my ego wasn't letting me see that I was like, well, if no one's reaching out to me, then, I guess that no one really wants this, or I'm only good for like free stuff. And so my worth would just kept like, because my ego was trying to keep me safe. And so checking my ego at the door was probably the biggest shift. And I think you need to check your ego at the door in order to ask. I think opening your hands up and saying, I've got this, what you need it, I believe, from everything that I know about you. You know me, because I've been showing up here and you trust me. I trust you that I know that you've been telling me the truth and you've been showing up for me too. Let's work together. Let's just get there together.
Yeah.
And we make more impact when, more of a like a sort of global conversation or existential conversation. But when women make money, that means that we're not taking from people, we're giving. And so we make the world a better place. I'm helping someone else with their business, so then they're helping their clients with their business, and it's a trickle effect. And then, not to mention, we're helping our families and the next generation and all of that stuff. So I had to kind of check my ego at the door with that kind of thing.
Yeah, that is the mindset that that is correct, right? Like me helping someone, me asking someone to allow me to work with them, which does support me and my business and my family, but also it's helping them get better, which will support them, and it's a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful way
Absolutely.
to look at it. Another one of the coaches that I talked to said it's unethical not to ask for the sale.